Prathamesh. So if you can give a thumbs up and a clap, and we can just get Prathamesh back on.
Clap up मत करो sir, थोड़ा awkward हो जाता है. I think in the interest of people who come on time, I really appreciate people coming on time. What I'm gonna do is one of the 3 under-leveraged channels of growth, which I typically keep for the end. I'll want to start just thanking you for coming on time, so that you guys get something bonus. जो लोग time पे नहीं आए, they'll miss out. वैसी चीज है ये. I'll play it the other way, so that very rarely people get rewarded for punctuality, but I'll try to do it this time. So I think we'll quickly start. जो लोग नहीं आए ठीक है यार, उनका नुकसान अपना क्या है. So I think I'll quickly just give me a second. Yeah. Yes, I'm here. Yes, I think people can see my screen.
Yeah, we can see it.
We can see it. Perfect. Presentation mode. Very quickly for all of you, I hope you all had a good session last time on Saturday. There was something good that you guys took. This time I'll be more specific. One of the feedbacks was थोड़ा सा वो generic था. Video हमें पता है कि होता है, but I think I was trying to prove it with data. Now this one is very, very important. I want everyone to make notes, and so when I talk to a lot of growth experts around me, like I think Sandesh would have spoken to you from Wakefit, Arindam from Attenberg, or Samrit from Headset for Tails. All these people, like हम लोग काफी बात करते रहते हैं. We are part of multiple WhatsApp groups as well. What we've seen is dependence on media is one of the worst ways for you to drive growth. आज सारे के सारे आप लोग बात करते हो कि यार मेरा फेसबुक फट गया, मेरा धंधा गिर गया. बॉस फेसबुक के ऊपर डिपेंडेंसी रखोगे, फेसबुक फटने ही वाला है. आपका एक दिन सडनली वो अकाउंट बंद कर देगा क्योंकि आपका आरबीआई का क्रेडिट कार्ड का कुछ इशू हो जाएगा, रिकरिंग बिलिंग नहीं होगा, आपका इनवॉइसिंग पे नहीं होगा, कोई आपने पॉलिसी वायलेट कर दी होगी तो आपने कभी पढ़ा भी नहीं रहेगा. So there will be a problem. So the whole goal, trust me, all of us sitting here, we want to reduce our dependence on media, dependence on Google or Facebook. How do we do it? So that's where these 3 under-leveraged channels of growth, which has worked for everyone. I'm talking each and everyone, whoever is around. So I'll just show you what happens. I'm sure all of you who are consumers today, आप लोग को ऐसे व्हाट्सएप मैसेज या एसएमएस आते हैं, मिंत्रा के 400 रुपए, लेंस कार्ट के 2000 रुपए आपके वॉलेट में आते ही हैं. I've just put some screenshots here. Register, not purchase. Somebody who has shown an interest, come on your portal, created an account. What I mean by created an account, मतलब उसने अपना मोबाइल नंबर दे दिया है, मतलब उसका अकाउंट क्रिएट हो गया आपके प्लेटफॉर्म पे. That person, if he has shown an interest, वो उसके अकाउंट में पैसे दे दो. If your average order value is typically, for example, 500 rupees, why don't you add 100 rupees to his account, like the way Fresh to Home does? If you see here, they say we are giving fresh cash up to rupees 500 here, up to rupees 500, which is credited to my wallet, and I can use only 100 rupees out of that, because they know कि यार AOV 500 रुपए है, 100 रुपए का अगर यहाँ पे देंगे, we are able to build that habit. So here is something which has worked effectively, efficiently. All the companies, I'm sure, when they put it on WhatsApp, spending 30 paise there to send this message, हो सकता है कि उनका WhatsApp account भी spam में mark हो जाए. In spite of that, they are doing, because they have done that A/B test. देखा है कि incrementality आ रही है, उसके बाद they are doing it, and this has worked phenomenally well for all the peers that I speak to. So, any questions, anything here, please feel free to ask. How to go about it, why to go about it, what to do, please feel free to ask me.
Apar has asked a question.
Hi, Apar. Yeah.
Hi, Prathamesh. Prathamesh,
Hi.
is WhatsApp the best way to go about it, or do you think emails and SMSs still work?
So in hierarchy, WhatsApp, SMS, email.
But WhatsApp will also get very, very crowded in the next 6 months. It's just a matter of 6 months. What next is?
No, it is already become crowded. हमने तो call, I mean, so लोग तो calling भी करते हैं. मतलब it's so I always encourage. In fact, there are people who show you ads as well. We've added rupees 15 in your wallet, Facebook pay. I think that's the next part, because on Facebook you can upload a custom audience there.
Correct,
and then show it to those users.
Correct.
So what I suggest, आप लोग ना, मतलब I think evolution of a channel, मतलब ये ना थोड़ा evolution होगी अपार, कि आप पहले देखोगे, then you will see हमेशा थोड़ा incrementality, एक point पे आके plateau हो जाएगा.
Correct.
उसके बाद I think you should look at channels, but at the first place, तो इसमें 2-3 टेक्निकलिटीज आई विल कम टू दैट एज वेल. तो इन टर्म्स ऑफ चैनल प्लीज डू व्हाट्सएप. सोचो मत अपार.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, sorry अपार, आप कुछ कह रहे थे.
नहीं, go on, it's fine.
Yeah, दीपक.
So, Prathamesh, my question to you is, I'm an earphone brand, right? And our ASP is, let's say, 500 to 999. So, how should we, and we don't have that much of gross margins, in which we can probably give 100 rupees coupon to an end user.
50 रुपए दे दो. 50 रुपए दे दो. और आपके इसमें अगर आप एक बंदा ईयरफोन ले रहा है, आपके बिजनेस में बिल्ट इन होगा ना. आज ईयरफोन पे अगर मैं कम मार्जिन बना रहा हूँ, कल चल के आके वो और कुछ भी ले लेगा. मतलब थोड़े प्रोडक्ट्स और तो रहेंगे वहां पे.
राइट.
टीवी का वैसे ही है. तो आपको इसको इंट्रोड्यूस करना है यार. दिस कस्टमर इज एट द बॉटम मोस्ट पार्ट ऑफ योर फनल. वो बंदा आपके वेबसाइट पे आया, अकाउंट बनाया, फिर जाके ड्रॉप ऑफ हो गया. उसको तो छोड़ना ही नहीं है यार. उसको तो बिल्कुल नहीं छोड़ना है. मीडिया के ऊपर आप कैक 800,000 रुपए देते रहोगे, वहां पे ROAS 1 बोलते रहोगे, खुश होते रहोगे, तब तो मार्जिन नहीं बोलते ना यार. यहाँ पे 50 रुपए में अगर अपने को सेल मिल रही है तो व्हाई नॉट.
राइट. हाँ, 50 रुपए से we can give it a shot.
Yeah, I think you should start with 50 rupees. थोड़ा सा मैं इसमें और भी थोड़ा सा नेटिग्रिटीज पे जाऊंगा इसमें. But this is critical यार. मीडिया तो ठीक है यार, तुम कर लोगे. बहुत महंगा है. ROAS of 1 के ऊपर 1000 रुपए के ऊपर, तब तो मार्जिन. मेरे को तो वो सबसे बड़ा फर्जीगिरी लगता है D2C का. ROAS आप रेवेन्यू पे करते हो, आप यू नॉट डूइंग इट ऑन GM. मतलब उसके ऊपर करने लगो ROAS, फिर वो भी नहीं करते.
Makes sense.
Yeah, Sainath.
So Prathamesh, the question that I have is, most of the examples that you've shown is of, let's say, SaaS platforms or tech companies like Dunzo giving the 400 rupees in the wallet, or basically whichever company has a wallet of their own, giving this 200 rupees in the wallet makes sense. But for a product company, we have tried to give discounts to these customers. Now, few convert, few don't. But still, how is the better way to go about it?
Lovely question, Sainath. Again, मतलब I think there's nitty-gritties जो मैं बोल रहा था ना. I think this is what I wanted to come back. So यार, ये तो सारी consumer companies ही है. अगर आप देखोगे, Ixigo, Fresh to Home that I have given example of Myntra. So yeah, you need a wallet ecosystem within your platform. That's point number 1. Second, up to 10,000 rupees, RBI बोलता है you can operate as a closed loop wallet. कोई regulation, कुछ KYC वगैरह की जरूरत नहीं है.
Okay.
सोचो मत, करो. ठीक है. जब आएगा तब देखा जाएगा. क्यों रुकना है वहां पे. ठीक है. That's the second part. So yes, you will need a tech functionality. In fact, today, if you guys go to your coder developer, or if you check for a Shopify plugin out there, check the functionality that you can add money to the wallet as well as remove money from the wallet. The reason why is this expiry thing is really important here. That is where the efficiency lies. यार lifetime थोड़ी रख सकते हैं यहाँ पे पैसा. यहाँ पे भी अगर आप देखो account expires on this day. यहाँ पे अगर account expires in 3 days. That's how your CRM communication will also come into the picture. That's what creates urgency. तो ये 2-3 चीजें ध्यान रखिएगा once you do that.
Noted.
So, but you will need to have that wallet functionality as a feature, which is a standard यार. GitHub वगैरह पे लोग search करेंगे, मिल जाएगा उनको Stack Overflow पे.
Got it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So I think this was one, register not purchase. इसमें ना थोड़ा सा मुझे आप लोग को और बताना था. क्या मेरा Chrome बंद हो गया क्या? Okay. Sorry. I'll just show you. So while you do this now, I think it's very important that you keep on measuring how your effectiveness is. We had a concept called day since registration. You guys can see my screen, right? मैं एक sheet के ऊपर type कर रहा हूँ.
Yeah, you can see.
Right? ठीक है. We had a concept called something called a day since registration. What we mean by is somebody जिसने आज अपना mobile number है, उसका मोबाइल नंबर यहाँ पे रजिस्टर किया है बट नॉट परचेज. लाइक फॉर एग्जांपल आई विल टेक एन एग्जांपल हॉपअप का पे की हेडफोन्स का. एक हेडफोन को परचेज को आई एम प्रिज्यूमिंग टिपिकली इट टेक्स 1 or 2 days since registration. आई थिंक यू शुड चेक इट आउट अपार कि कितना टाइम लगता है. somebody who is registered on your portal to actually finally purchasing. So what you should do is after that time, मतलब अगर वो time pass हो गया है कि 2 दिन 3 दिन हो गए somebody registered and you still not purchase, after that you should be giving money in his wallet. उसके पहले मत दीजिएगा. So what I mean by is we create different cohorts. We call it, for example, DSR. आपके केस में 3 to 7. We create another cohort called DSR 8 to 14. Then we create a cohort called DSR 15 to 30. What I mean is today, for example, today is 15 June. DSR 3 to 7 मतलब जो लोगों ने register किया रहेगा 9 June to 12 June के बीच में, and so on and so forth. Now in that I'll strongly encourage you, create a test set, create a control set. इधर आपके 80 यूजर्स हैं, इधर आपके 20 यूजर्स हैं. ये 80 यूजर्स को आपने यहाँ पे ₹50 दिया है, यहाँ पे कुछ नहीं दिया, you've given nothing here, no offer. Now इसमें से आप देखो ये 80 में से कितने कन्वर्ट हो रहे हैं. फॉर एग्जांपल इस 80 में से 16 लोग कन्वर्ट हो रहे हैं. कौन है यार ये? या 80 में से 16 लोग कन्वर्ट हो रहे हैं, 20 में से हाइपोथेटिकली 2 लोग कन्वर्ट हो रहे हैं, which implies your conversion rate here is 20%, यहाँ पे 10%. Now is what you need to measure incremental conversion कितना है. That's 10%. That is equal to, for example, ये simple मतलब आपके 20% minus, sorry, yeah, this is not my laptop, that's why I'm facing a lot of challenges. So the incremental conversion आपका 20% minus 10%, this into the overall population. Okay, 10% into 8, sorry, ये तो percentage का गड़बड़ हो गया. But I think you guys are getting the point. This is 8, and the money that you spend, money spent is equal to, you spent 16 रुपए के 16 लोगों ने use किया into 50 rupees. That's what the money spent. So your actual CAC becomes this 800 by 8. This is your actual CAC here. So the point that I'm trying to tell you here is the actual CAC won't be ₹50, it will be ₹100. Now is where you need to measure the ROI, whether you're getting that incrementality or not. And the point when you stop getting that incrementality was बंद कर दो, फिर नहीं करना. And you need to measure that whether it gives you the right ROAs or not.
Prathamesh, quick question. How did you
Yeah.
calculate the incremental? I think I missed that part.
तो यहाँ पे ना ये मैंने conversion rate लिया है.
Right, conversion rate.
देखोगे तो these are like conversions.
Correct, conversion rate.
ठीक है. तो incremental कैसे है? 20% minus 10% मतलब 10% हो गया. For example, इसको मैं simplify करा. ये आपका आ जाएगा 15% into the total year. ये आपका हो गया.
Got it. समझ गया.
आपका conversion rate higher हुआ, आपका actual CAC उतना कम होते जाए.
Got it.
So this is how that A/B testing, the whole thing, दुनिया भर के लोग आके बोलते हैं A/B testing करो, वो सब करो. बहुत ये सिंपल तरीका है और कुछ नहीं. बड़ी कंपनीज, फ्लिपकार्ट लेवल की कंपनीज भी ऐसे गूगल शीट पे ऑपरेट करती है. Any questions, any doubts? Incrementality, closed loop wallet, anything? लोग रीमार्केटिंग, रीटारगेटिंग कैंपेन चलाते हैं, क्रिएटिव के ऊपर चलाएंगे, फेसबुक पे चलाएंगे, फीड चलाएंगे, वहां पे बस वहां पे 200, 300, 400 रुपए दोगे, उससे चाहे पे 50 रुपए में काम होता है. जो आपके, एंड वन मोर हैक दैट यू शुड यूज इज the closer the cohort to registration. Like for example, in case of DSR 3 to 7, यहाँ पे अगर आप ₹50 दे रहे हो, यहाँ पे आप ₹75 दे दो, जितना दूर होते जा रहा है आपका conversion rate lower होगा. यहाँ पे ₹100 दे दो. This is what has worked for big companies, and hence I'm sharing that with you. Clear है? कोई शक, कोई सवाल, anyone? Yes, Supriya. Yeah. You're on mute, ma'am.
Hi, Prathamesh.
Yes.
Prathamesh, my query is that suppose we've done this even for abandoned checkout, if we do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And suppose we set a flow like this. Do you think from your experience that does it set any motion that, okay, that this is what is expected, that we'll do an abandoned checkout and then we get some coupon, or is it that we should do it on random intervals?
So there are two parts to that, Supriya. The abandoned cart one, you should do it immediately, without a doubt. Matlab, person who has come, he has put something on cart, and you know from a cart to checkout, typically the time would be not more than 5 minutes or 7 minutes.
Right.
The successful checkout. So in the 10th or the 12th minute, you should definitely send him an email, probably. Yours is a website or an app?
It's a website.
It's a website. Then you have an SMS, or you have a if it's an e-com flow, I'm presuming, I don't know whether you have the mobile number or not.
Yeah, if it's an abandoned checkout, yes. Abandoned.
You have that. You take the mobile number before that. Okay, fantastic. Then an SMS, then ideally an SMS should go in the 12th or the 14th minute with a very, very basic coupon code, probably 5% off, not more than that. At the 30th minute, you can send a WhatsApp message with the same 5% off coupon code. An email probably after 24 hours, because so one thing you would have noticed, Supriya, you typically use the apps in the same slot. Like for example, if you're going to office in the morning, that is the time you might be checking Instagram or emails. रात को 11 बजे आप शायद YouTube देखते रहोगे. So people have that behavior कि shopping typically वो उसी hour में करेंगे दिन के. That's like a very common behavior. So exactly 24 hours after that, you should send across a WhatsApp message or an email वहाँ पे. अब उतने में अगर नहीं हो रहा है, then leave it 2-3 दिन. Then is where, तो हमेशा एक और चीज याद रखिएगा, good that you pointed out, Supriya, between a coupon code and adding money to wallet, always adding money to wallet works well. We've done that A/B testing as well before at Milk Basket. क्योंकि adding money to wallet is too tedious. यार एक टीम है जिसको CSV अपलोड करना पड़ता है, फाइनेंस वाले लड़ाई करेंगे, आपकी फाइनेंस टीम आपसे लड़ाई करेगी, टेक टीम बोलेगी ये फीचर में हम एक्सपायरी नहीं कर सकते, then that becomes another challenge. But it's a hard way, but it gives you that incrementality. So what I would suggest is wait for 3 days, 4 days. You just see somebody who is registered to check out. What's your normal register to check out time? It's 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, or 4 days. But it might be, assuming you are in fashion, the people would want to check it out on a Jio, Myntra, kahan pe acha offer mil raha hai or something. And then they will finally come back here and just check it out. So I would say keep these two separate. It's not either or, you should do both.
And do you, from your experience, is it that customers are used to this kind of a behavior where they know that, okay, I put an abandoned checkout and then maybe I'll get some coupon, I'll get a better discount than, just going with the direct flow? Does that happen?
At scale now, see, these discount hunters, I think बहुत ही कम है सुप्रिया, बहुत ही कम. मतलब ये हमने रमी सर्कल में देखा था. मतलब there were certain people like we had जैसे आपने Dream 11 पे देखा रहता है, these big tournaments that they advertise 1 crore वगैरह वाले, they just come for tournament, free entry, and then they go away. Right. But then thanks to our data science team, then we weeded it out. But e-com में ना थोड़ा अभी मैं कहता आपके प्रायोरिटी लिस्ट में उसको लो ही रखिए. Right now धंधा बनाते हैं, then there will be, definitely there will be, but it won't be more than 1% or 2% of that.
Sure, fine. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Sainath, yes.
Prathamesh, can you just explain the incremental aspect again?
Sure. No worries. अभी मैंने ना ये मेरे क्या किया ना, अभी DSR 3 to 7, मतलब जिन लोगों ने 9 जून से 12 जून के बीच में रजिस्टर किया, रैंडम 100 लोगों ने रजिस्टर किया था, और मैं उसको रैंडमली 80-20 के सेट में डाल दिया. ठीक है, तो अभी मैं रैंडमली डाल दिया. अब मैं क्या करूंगा ना, 20 को कुछ नहीं दूंगा, because there is something an organic behavior, they will go and convert on their own. Whereas जो 80 है उनको मैंने दिया, तो उसमें my conversion rate will definitely be much better. उनको WhatsApp भेजा है, SMS भेजा है, यार लोग तो कॉलिंग भी कर देते हैं वहाँ पे, hi we have 50 basket में वो कर देते हैं. तो अगर आप देखो कि यहाँ पे conversion rate जो यहाँ पे defined है, this is this divided by
80.
हाँ, मतलब लोग मेरे convert हुए, ठीक है, अभी परसेंटेज 20% हो गया. अब यही अगर आप देखोगे ये नंबर 5% है. मतलब अगर साइनाथ ने कुछ नहीं किया होता तो 5% लोग तो ऐसे ही कन्वर्ट हो जाते 100 में से. 80 में से 5% अगर मैं ले लूं, that's 4 people would have automatically get converted. मेरे वजह से मैंने 5% को 20% कर दिया, that's an incremental of 50%. बराबर?
Correct.
My incremental conversion rate becomes this minus this. दोनों में क्या फर्क है? सिर्फ एक ही फर्क है. दोनों में सिर्फ एक ही फर्क है जो मैंने ये दिया. So this 15% is what my initiative has given.
Okay.
That's why the incremental conversions are 12. So in a normal scenario, just 5% would have gone. That's why your money spent is actually on everyone. ये 16 लोग पे ही हुआ. 800 रुपया, क्योंकि हमने सबको 50 रुपए दे दिए. Actual CAC becomes 66.
Got it.
Clear है? Guys, I'm spending some काफी टाइम इस पे spend कर रहा हूँ, because I think दिस इज वेरी क्रिटिकल यार. तुम फेसबुक गूगल के बाहर लोग सोचते नहीं है. एवरीबडी हैज जॉइंड एक्सपर्ट की मेरे को फेसबुक का आरओएस पता चलेगा, कैसे मैं इंप्रूव करूं. बट ये बहुत क्या बोलते हैं, कंपनीज में काफी इवॉल्व होने के बाद ही आती है. तो प्लीज डू दैट. इट्स वेरी इजी, लो हैंगिंग. यू शुड डेफिनेटली ट्राई इट. Yeah, now we'll quickly go. First one, we spoke about this. Boss, second one, मतलब can anybody guess ये कौन से 3 स्क्रीनशॉट्स हैं, कौन से 3 ऐप के स्क्रीनशॉट्स हैं? थर्ड वाला तो सबको पता है. फर्स्ट, सेकंड,
फोन पे
यस,
and
पेटीएम.
last is Google
अरे
Pay.
ऊपर नाम लिखा हुआ है, पोपट हो गया मेरा. Yeah, so the point that I'm trying to say is, boss, partnerships today. A lot of companies have started. If you look at job openings, everybody is looking for manager partnerships, manager strategic alliances, manager brand partnerships. Boss, this can be your biggest lever. A lot of companies, again, I know their traction that they're getting from partnerships is as big as Google and Facebook combined. Lot of these companies that you see the screenshots here, they are heavily investing on this, and the CAC is much lower. I'm a part of a lot of partnership community forums where we have seen, I've spoken to a lot of people where they say they are partnered with like some 30-40 partners, and these 3 work amazingly well for them. So please, if you are not on any of these 3 partners, please go ahead. They give you location wise targeting. कि अगर आपको, for example, if you want to do it only in Bangalore, if you want to do it only in Bombay, they even offer you that. It's as big a media channel today as a Google or a Facebook advertisement is. Any questions, anything that you guys need? And I think, Sharid, this is where, you know, probably as a person, probably you can collate the requirements here together. यहाँ पे ना, because sometimes क्या होगा, गूगल पे वाला शायद एक small player को बोलेगा कि I am not ready to entertain, but collectively you have that muscle.
Yeah, no, I think this is a fair point. Like the same way which we think also, like get one of those Paytm or Google Pay guys who's looking at promotions or partnerships to come and sort of say.
एक बार मैं आपको contact दे देता हूँ, शरद. मतलब at Google Pay, Varun is a very dear friend, and the same at Phone Pay and Google Pay, Paytm. I'll मतलब
very easily, I think then we can sort of build a channel to connect.
Yeah. मतलब ये आप कर दीजिए, and it's good for them as well ना. मतलब और भी partners हैं, उनका तो monetization बढ़ते ही जा रहा है. Yeah, Deep.
Yeah, the question वही मैं बात कर रहा था कि how do they entertain? I mean, that was one of the things that, you know, was biggest concern. I mean, do they entertain us? Will they talk to us or something? Because we have been chasing few people here and there, but that's taking quite a time.
No, you are right, man. I think this is what actually we have seen. यार छोटे ब्रांड्स को ना थोड़ा कम करते हैं. मतलब वो बड़े ब्रांड्स है जैसे ये सारे के सारे एयरटेल, आई एम श्योर पेटीएम के ऊपर उनका स्पेंड 10 लाख 15 लाख के ऊपर होगा. फॉर एग्जांपल यहाँ पे फार्म इजी है, उसका फोन पे के ऊपर आराम से 5-10 लाख के ऊपर स्पेंड होगा. यार मतलब अगर इतना बड़ा स्पेंड आई एम श्योर अकेले नहीं कर सकते, बट आई थिंक 2 or 3 players together, yes, मतलब we can put that muscle out there that show that we are coming in together. इतना बड़ा स्पेंड करने के लिए यार थोड़ा रीच भी चाहिए अपने को. मतलब यू आर राइट दीप, इसके लिए मैंने पहले ही वो शरद को बोला. आई थिंक ऑन चैट देयर इज वन क्वेश्चन अप, आई विल जस्ट टेक वन. डू दिस चैनल्स वर्क फॉर प्रीमियम ब्रांड्स टू? See, I'll tell you we call this an engagement rate. मतलब how many people scratch it or click it. This will be low. मतलब obviously this is more massy, more people who are looking for discount. But if you look at cult fit subscription or something, that's something which is slightly on a higher side or on a premium side. I'll say just explore that. We have seen that it works. मतलब यहाँ पे अगर आप देखो, Tender Cuts is a fairly premium brand, or Tinder is a fairly premium brand. Gaana Plus मैंने भी नहीं लिया यार. मतलब मैं खुद को मानता हूँ I'm in the top 1% of the country. मैंने भी नहीं लिया. तो I think you should definitely try it out. Give a very good offer. Offer तो हमारे देश में चलता ही है. मतलब हमने रिसेंटली कार खरीदी, उसमें भी हम ढूंढ रहे थे कि इस पेनी पे कुछ ऑफर मिल जाए, तो हमारा देश तो ऐसे ही है। सो डू ट्राई इट आउट, आई विल एनकरेज। अच्छा ऑफर दे दो तो लोग ले लेंगे। इनफैक्ट यू हैव अ वेरी गुड ऑप्शन, अगर आप प्रीमियम हो तो आप बड़ा ऑफर दे सकते हो, 500 रुपए ऑफ या 1000 रुपए, देन यू विल स्टैंड आउट। ये सब चिंदी 50-100 रुपए के सामने यू माइट स्टैंड आउट रियली वेल। Yeah, Par.
Hey, Prathamesh, how does the monetization work for like if you let's say want to enter into a partnership with Paytm? What do they charge?
So they typically charge you on the cost per reach. So there are two models. One is the engagement model where Google Pay charges you on if somebody scratches or clicks out there, only then, or copies a coupon code, only then they will charge you. Whereas Paytm gives you on the basis of distribution, that I'll share this coupon with, for example, 100 people. For every 100 people, I'll charge you ₹1 or so. That
Got
way.
Got it.
That's the way it happens.
And normally, what is there a metric that turns out ki in terms of percentage of CAC? So let's say
यार
if we
मतलब
are
एक सिंपल है, आप एक यूनिक कूपन कोड दे दोगे यहाँ पे, ठीक है, you might call it Paytm DC in your case, design कार्ड, फोन पे को फोन DC, ठीक, आप देखो कितना रिडेम्पशन हुआ इवेंचुअली। आपने पेटीएम को 1 लाख रुपया दिया, कितना रिडीम हुआ कूपन, दैट्स सिंपल, कैक वैसे डिफाइन कर लो।
Got it. ठीक है,
ठीक है। थर्ड थिंग व्हाट विल हैपन विद यू फोक्स, आई विल टेल यू, इन केस ऑफ पेटीएम फोन पे नहीं होगा, गूगल पे में होगा आपका प्रॉब्लम। सो गूगल पे में क्या होता है, दे आस्क फॉर यूनिक कूपन्स। नाउ इफ दे आस्क यू यूनिक कूपन्स, यू विल हैव टू स्टार्ट जनरेटिंग 10,000 कूपन्स, 20,000 कूपन। तो पहले तो शायद, आई डोंट नो वेदर यू हैव दैट कूपन जनरेटिंग कैपेबिलिटी टेक और नॉट, ठीक है, चलो जनरेट कर लिया 10,000, 20,000, 1 लाख कूपन्स। 1 लाख कूपन जनरेट करने के बाद at your checkout flow there will be a very ugly सा coupon code, which will be GPayXYZ, जो आपने coupon typically Google Pay पे देखे रहेंगे। Whenever somebody applies that coupon code, your checkout flow will have to go and check whether that's a valid coupon code or not, which will slow down your checkout process, and people will fall out of it. So before you go on Google Pay, guys, please ensure that your coupon architecture is rigid enough. I hope you understood the question out there. I hope you understood the point there. Because every time a coupon is applied, it needs to go and check those 10,000, 20,000 coupons in the library, whether that's a valid coupon code or not. And to do that, it takes time. Machine है, लेकिन उसको भी time लगेगा. And if it does, तो eventually आपका checkout slow हो जाएगा. तो before you guys go on Google Pay, please ensure कि आपका coupon architecture strong है. With Paytm phone पे you can do a one coupon, वो 1 लाख लोगों को 10 लाख लोगों को share कर देंगे. That won't be a problem. ठीक है? Clear everyone? चलो, partnership हुआ. Next one was referral. अगर रेफरल नहीं कर रहे, प्लीज ये क्राइम मत करो आप लोग, बहुत जरूरी है यार। मतलब all you guys have started with this hypothesis that you guys are better than the existing players in the market, right? मतलब I think that's how you are doing personalization, you're looking at customization, you're adding that value out there. A fundamental thing that is required in your growth flywheel is that people will go out and talk to each other. This is one of the lowest CAC channels. Milk basket, I'll give you an example again. We used to go and talk to consumers and we'll try to understand, hey, आप लोगों को milk basket के बारे में कैसे पता चला? Most of them से मेरे neighbor ने बताया, मेरे society के WhatsApp group पे आया. That's how I came to know about milk basket, क्योंकि grocery है. हमने रेफरल किया बॉस. there was a time when it had reached 30-35% of our total acquisitions. जो भी हमारे न्यू कस्टमर्स आते थे, 30-35% सिर्फ रेफरल से आते थे. इतना बड़ा हो गया था वो. एंड लोएस्ट कैक चैनल रहता है यार. मीडिया के ऊपर आप 500-800 रुपए देते हो, इसमें 100 रुपए दे दो, लोग खुश हो जाते हैं. इट्स एज सिंपल एज दैट. सो नॉट डूइंग रेफरल, प्लीज. मतलब इसमें से 2-3 चीजें ध्यान रखना. मतलब कि nudge for referral when the customer is happy. मतलब it's as simple as जैसे आप देख रहे हो यहाँ पे, somebody has won a cashback, यार वो खुश है. If he's happy, and that is the time that he or she will refer you. आपने बहुत बार देखा रहेगा गूगल के ऊपर, गूगल जिस पे ऐप रहती हैं, they nudge you for a 5-star rating when you have rated internally a 5-star उनके कोई सर्विस के लिए, that's when they do you want to rate us on the Play Store. It's very simple. It's called a happy flow. Google कर लोगे referral happy flow, you will come to know what I'm trying to say. Any questions, any doubts here?
Prathamesh, I have a question. So the timing of that, when you say it's like a happy flow, job bolte ho, it's basically when in the case of D2C, it would be like when the product has been delivered and they've used it and hence.
Yeah. I think that would be the best time. उसके बाद आपने SMS email कर दिया उसको. I think for D2C brands will be that time. या फिर जब deliver हुआ है उसके आधे घंटे 1 घंटे बाद, because unpacking is something I am sure a lot of people love it. मतलब मैंने देखा अपने घर पे, a lot of people would have seen कि यार जब unpack होता है ना, there is some excitement out there. उसके बाद आप करो, people will be happy to refer you.
Perfect.
Yeah. With checks, why do I say? Just ensure कि if you become a mobile app or something, तो यार same device ID से दूसरा account बनेगा तो fraud होती है. मोबाइल नंबर का तो चेक है ही. थोड़ा देख लो कुछ टेक्स्ट सॉल्यूशंस अगर आपके ऐसे हैं तो. इफ इट्स लाइक आईपी एड्रेस चेक, ये कुछ चेक्स डालते हैं. सेम मोबाइल नंबर को रेफर नहीं होना चाहिए, दैट्स बेयर मिनिमम, क्योंकि आपका मोबाइल नंबर बिकम्स यूनिक आइडेंटिफायर. बट कुछ लोग ईमेल आईडी पे करते हैं, व्हिच इज वेरी इजी टू फ्रॉड. तो ये चेक्स थोड़ा आप देख लीजिएगा. परफेक्ट. एनीवन एल्स हैज एनी डाउट?
Hi, Prathamesh. I have another doubt here.
Yeah,
how do you and this is a slightly tech doubt, how do you do this for your Shopify store and then try to scale it with, well, मेरे को तो manual work दिमाग में बहुत सारा है, the way you're telling it to me.
Shopify पे I'm sure plugin होगा यार इसका, मतलब ये तो मैं, हाँ बिल्कुल होगा. मतलब आई एम प्रिज्यूमिंग ये, मैं ऐसे नहीं है ना, मैं स्टीव जॉब्स हूं, मैंने पहली बार वो आईफोन दिखाया दुनिया को, रेफरल से दुनिया कर रही है.
नहीं आई जस्ट हैड, मेरे दिमाग में मेंटल स्टेप्स चल गए थे कि मैनुअली इतने सारे स्टेप्स करने पड़ेंगे, बट
नहीं करना भाई. बिल्कुल नहीं. और शॉपिफाई पे अगर प्लगइन नहीं है तो शरद, लेट्स बिल्ड इट यार. मतलब पर कस्टमर अपन लोग ले लेते हैं 1-2%.
Really, 100% होगा. I mean, actually,
I'll check it out.
Put in the group also, maybe, right? In the community, someone will tell you which plugin they're using for.
हाँ. तो ये plugins check कर लो यार, मतलब लोगों ने किया हुआ रहेगा अपन.
Got it. ठीक है.
Hi Kritika. You're on mute.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hi Prathamesh, I'm from the Earth Collective. What I wanted to ask you was, between a referral and a full-fledged, say, loyalty program, which do you feel is better for like a slightly premium brand, or build the referral in the loyalty program?
Okay. So to answer this question ना, मतलब ऐसा है, मेरे पापा को अगर आप पूछोगे ना, मेरा बड़ा बेटा प्रथमेश अच्छा है कि नवीन मेरा छोटा भाई अच्छा है, मतलब वो वैसा है यहाँ पे. वो बोलेंगे मेरे दोनों बेटे इंपॉर्टेंट है लाइफ में, एक MBA एक CA है, मैं किसी एक को कैसे चूज करूं. मतलब इट्स just kidding there, but I think both of them serve a very different purpose there, Kritika. Referral, that way, the way I see ना, मतलब कि as an acquisition lever, when I say getting customers to try the Earth Collective for the first time, definitely there are media channels, performance marketing we talk about brand marketing. Now we are talking about register not purchase as a separate channel, partnership as a separate channel, referral as a separate channel. So for a fact, I know there are companies which, जब ये वो जो key metrics trackers जैसे मैं बोल रहा था ना आपको, they put these as different heads वहाँ पे. These are acquisition channels. Loyalty, the way I see out here, is a very good retention channel. I think every company should have, where there is a possibility of a purchase once a month or once in 2 months. Loyalty is a game changer, and that's a very good retention hack. Hack नहीं बोलूँगा, it's a retention tool out there. मतलब for a fact, I know Tata Digital में there's just like a whole team just working on the whole loyalty. मतलब उनका IPL में ad देखो, they're just working on 5% cashback on coins. They're just working on that. So, and for you, I'll say, and the question that becomes then is whether I should focus on loyalty right now or referral right now. Between the two, if you were to say, what should I pick up first? If that is the question, my answer to that would be probably I'll pick up referral first, getting people first on the platform, because देखो retention जो होती है ना, मैं हमेशा बोलता हूँ, it's not a function of CRM tool, loyalty and all. अगर आपका product अच्छा है ना, people will come back to you again and again. वहाँ पे. So loyalty definitely will escalate it. But right now, the bigger objective is getting people to know. मतलब they should come back. They should actually come. आज मेरा सबसे बड़ा प्रॉब्लम है यार, 100 रुपए खर्च करूंगा, मैं सिर्फ 1000 eyeballs तक पहुंच पाता हूँ, 1000 impressions दे पाऊंगा. तो इसके लिए referral is a very low cost and good way to do it. So between the two, first मैं बोलूँगा referral, then you should focus on loyalty.
Got it. Thank you.
Yeah. So yes, I'll say, okay, there's something on chat. There is one called Growwave. Okay. Just quickly go there. Yes. So I think we spoke about the revenue equation. I hope everybody has a revenue equation very, very clear. सबको एकदम अच्छे से पता है. We spoke about growth flywheels. Please, नहीं बनाया, बना दो. It's very important. It will give you very good clarity. मतलब वो एक्सरे टाइप रहता है ना, हेल्थ चेक कि बॉस क्या है भाई फ्लाईव्हील. आज तो ठीक है, आज महीने का 50,000, 1 लाख, 2 लाख बना देते हैं, बट अपने को तो आगे धंधा बढ़ाना है, बड़ा धंधा करना है. इसके लिए पेज के ऊपर फोकस नहीं करना है, वीडियो पे फोकस करना है. इवेंट सैनिटी चेक अगर आप लोग ने आज तक नहीं करवाया है, बॉस प्लीज परफॉर्मेंस मार्केटिंग के ऊपर अगर आप 1 लाख 2 लाख रुपए के ऊपर खर्च कर रहे हो महीने का, this should be the first thing. You should have done it by now. Saturday को सेशन हो गया था, आज Wednesday, 3 दिन हो गए हैं, नहीं किया तो please get your marketing folks and get them to do that. The spends we saw, putting it forward, video, all platforms are becoming video first in their digital marketing as well. Influencer marketing, again, we need to measure cost per engagement. Wagera last time we spoke, we'll measure what are the CPMs for influencer marketing, what is the cost per engagement, how is the click-through rate, what is the traction that we are getting. Affiliates, I think we covered it last time again, should not be more than 10%. ज़्यादा affiliate का काम मत करो, cannibalize ही करता है, ठीक है? Okay, we spoke about the ideal mix of channels, how it goes, paid कैसे होता है, फिर grow होता है, कैसे stabilize होता है. Right now, I believe all of you are at an early stage level. Hence, your paid marketing will go on increasing and increasing and increasing. So this is where I think last time one thing I think I had highlighted, this others channel is where everybody should be at 10-15%. Because eventually, जो others channel, what I mean by that is the partnerships channel or a referral channel. Eventually, वो आपका 10-15% या उससे ज़्यादा भी हो सकता है. So you should be focusing on that. Yes. Now I think one thing everybody keeps on asking कि यार Facebook पे क्या करूँ? Something that I have seen work very well. Lookalike audience में 1% lookalike. आपका जिस early stage पे हो, you're okay to work with 1% lookalike audience. अभी तक आपने scratch भी नहीं किया. What is meant by 1% lookalike? Is anyone aware क्या होता है? 1% क्या होता है? तो आपने सुना ही रहेगा, everybody has been working. कोई बता दो शरद को छोड़ के, शरद knows.
Yeah, so lookalike is great for everyone, right? On Facebook.
Yeah, I think everybody सबके लिए same है. किसको पूछूं मैं? Shrey Vij from कहाँ से हैं? Philocally. Hey Shrey.
Hey, hi Prathamesh.
Hi sir.
बस बढ़िया,
Yes,
आप बताओ.
पता है सर 1% lookalike तो आपने यूज की रहेगी ऑडियंस?
1% lookalike. So basically, we don't have a performance marketing team in-house. So what we do is our performance marketing team also does performance marketing for a lot of fashion brands like Varun Behel and all these guys. So that's where the lookalike audiences are usually picked out from. But I am not a tech background guy. So this is something that, like, most of this is absolutely new to me. We've been a brick and mortar brand for most part of our 6-year journey, and we've only pivoted to online journey after COVID. So
Okay.
a lot of this is new. A lot of this we we tore marodo it and put it in an offline format, like the referrals, loyalty. We have a referral program. We have a loyalty program, but a slightly different format of it.
Okay.
So all of this we do, but not in an online space as much. Online
Sure.
is something I'm just learning through experts and through these sessions.
Okay. So, very simply put out here is, for example, on Facebook we have a 40 crore population in India. People who are on Facebook. So what does it say is it identifies. For example, tomorrow Philo Kelly का अगर आपने सारा customer list upload कर दिया, which should be minimum 1000 के size का, it looks at all the parameters around that, and it says which are the top 40 lakh people who are closest to you, the top 1%, which are closest to your attributes. So for you, whenever you're running digital marketing on Facebook, I think all of you should be looking at the audience कि आप 1% lookalike चला रहे हो कि नहीं चला रहे हो तो जाके बोलो अपने digital marketing team को, बॉस please चलाओ. I'm sure they will be running, but audience wise एक बार देख लो ना वहाँ पे. So there are different types of audiences for everyone. There are interest based audience, affinity based audience, but 1% lookalike is something. If you have more than 1000 orders, upload कर लो, customer का नाम, email ID, phone number, सब device ID upload कर दो, you will find a good match.
Does it also apply if most of that data has been collected offline? Like we have
why not?
A database
उसमें problem क्या होगा? So the behavior of people buying offline versus the behavior of people buying online is different. So that's why the second part is something called as engaged shoppers audience. नहीं यूज करो, प्लीज जाके चेक करो whether using engaged shoppers. Engaged shoppers का definition क्या होता है? नोट्स बनाने की जरूरत नहीं है सर लोग, आप लोग को ये डेटा मिल जाएगा आपको ये वाली चीज. So what I mean by engaged shoppers is, so Facebook, if you see Facebook pixel is on everyone. तो आज for example डिजाइन कार्ड के वेबसाइट पे है, अर्थ कलेक्टिव के वेबसाइट पे है, हिमालयन ओरिजिन्स के इस पे वेबसाइट पे है, फॉरेस्ट सस्टेनेबल फैशन के इस पे भी फेसबुक का पिक्सल डाला हुआ है. What it does is, so I as a consumer, if I go on Earth Collective and have purchased something online, so Facebook pixel got fired, Facebook is creating this audience of people who have bought online in the last 7 days. In the last 7 days, if I have purchased something online, then I follow in the engaged shopper audience. This is like the closest hardcore e-com guy you will find online. So if you are not getting an engaged shopper, मतलब ये थोड़े से hacks रहते हैं जो agency वाले use करते हैं, engaged shopper audience पे करोगे तो typically CAC is lower, ROAS is better. Clear है? तो ये please आप जाके आज check कर लीजिएगा. Yes. I think this is one of the big burning questions which everybody keeps on asking, what we should do, agency versus in-house. ये दिखाना मत ये स्लाइड किसी को, एजेंसी वाले को, मतलब मुझे मारेंगे. I would strongly encourage for the first 6 months, please go ahead with an agency, build that stack. They've done that multiple times. They know what campaigns work, what don't work. पूरा का पूरा campaign structure वगैरह सब बना दो, सब कुछ करवा दो वहाँ पे. While you're doing that, make sure you're building a parallel team in-house. And now the question that comes is, Prathamesh, अगर दोनों का cost similar है, आज एक digital marketing का head उसको 1 लाख 1.5 लाख रुपए देना पड़ता है, उसके नीचे 2-3 resources रखने पड़ते हैं, एनालिस्ट टोटल हमारा 2-2.5-3 लाख रुपए का खर्चा आएगा, एजेंसी वाला मेरे को 50,000 1 लाख में दे रहा है. तो आप समझ लो यार, वो जो इंसान है, they are working with 5 clients, तब वो लोग ये कर पा रहे हैं. Even they are also paying similar salaries and they need to make a profit out of it. So the point is, you are not the 100% focus. So for them to be 100% आपके ऊपर focus है, your in-house team will always be better. They will be trying out experiments, get good people. And one more thing, if for example you are spending 4 lakhs 5 lakhs और आप एजेंसी को 1.5 लाख रुपए दे रहे हो, बॉस, that's very ineffective. आपका मैक्सिमम even at an early stage 10% से ज्यादा आपका एजेंसी फी नहीं होना चाहिए. मतलब अगर आप 20-25% दे रहे हो, बॉस गड़बड़ है फिर तो. बी वेरी थरो, मेक श्योर कि आप अपने मतलब keep your agency on your toes. I think that is what is important right now. Learn from them and then make it in-house. अगला क्वेश्चन इसका आता है, प्रथमेश, do you know a good agency? I would not want to name an agency anywhere here. हर कैटेगरी की अपनी अपनी है. I would encourage you should evaluate whether रिमोट या फिर सेम सिटी में दिल्ली वाले हैं तो दिल्ली में, बैंगलोर वाले, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है, रिमोटली सारे लोग काम कर रहे हैं, कोई इशू नहीं है वहाँ पे. तो that is one. In fact, I try to find out whether I have this or not. There was one performance marketing tracker which I encourage. Just a second, let me just try to pull that. I'll just take a question. Probably अगर आप वो अपने एजेंसी को दे दो तो this might be helpful. Just a second, I'm just bringing this up. Yep. Now I can share. Yes. That's probably what you can do now here. ये दिख रहा है performance marketing dashboard.
Yeah.
Yeah. तो यार ये मतलब I think this was one very effective tool. Last 7 days का performance क्या चल रहा है, मतलब as founders और as CMOs आपको एक इसमें नहीं जाना लाइन आइटम में engage shopper audience कैसे जा रही है, 1% lookalike कैसे जा रही है, but देख लो कि last 7 days कैसा performance चल रहा है, क्या spend, क्या acquisition, क्या इंस्टॉल के यहाँ पे सेशन देख लो, कॉस्ट पर सेशन देख लो, कन्वर्जन रेट क्या चल रहा है, क्लिक थ्रू रेट क्या चल रहा है, यस्टरडे क्या चल रहा है, लास्ट वीक सेम डे क्या चल रहा है, सिमिलरली वीक टू डेट क्या चल रहा है, लास्ट वीक टू डेट क्या चल रहा है, मंथ टू डेट क्या चल रहा है. सिंपल ये अगर आपने सुबह उठ के 10-15 मिनट स्पेंड कर लिया, दैट इज गुड इनफ फॉर यू. दिस विल टेल यू वेदर दीस पीपल आर ऑन देयर टोज और नॉट. एज सिंपल एज दैट. डोंट वरी, नो नीड टू टेक स्क्रीनशॉट. आई विल शेयर दैट विद यू आफ्टर द सेशन. Yeah, Deepak.
So there are many agencies, who are working on revenue sharing model these days.
Okay.
They are not working on fixed retainer or कि आप 10% spend का दे दो. They are working on a model in which you have to pay them according to your monthly sales.
Okay.
Percentage of sales.
Okay. मतलब मैंने अभी देखा नहीं यार इसमें ना, मेरे को फिर वो सिर्फ एक चेक रखना, लास्ट मंथ फॉर एग्जांपल मई के महीने में आपका धंधा 100 रुपया हुआ, जून के महीने में आपने एजेंसी ला दिया, आपका धंधा 100 रुपया हुआ, बट एजेंसी इज सेइंग कि मेरे वजह से 20 रुपया हो गया, ठीक है, इंक्रीमेंटालिटी 0 आई. क्या होता है इसमें ना, एक एट्रीब्यूशन का चीज रहता है दीपक, कि इफ आई चेंज सर्टेन एट्रीब्यूशन सेटिंग्स इन बिहाइंड ना, मेरा ऑर्गेनिक विल स्टार्ट गेटिंग एट्रीब्यूटेड टू द मीडिया चैनल्स. तो जस्ट इवैल्यूएट दैट. आपको इंक्रीमेंटल चाहिए ना धंधा,
राइट?
तो वेदर यू गेटिंग इंक्रीमेंटल धंधा और नॉट.
ओके.
मतलब एक सिंपल चीज वो लोग जो करते हैं, एट्रीब्यूशन विंडो जो पहले 7 डेज रहती थी उसको 28 डेज कर देते हैं. व्हाट इट मींस इज, अगर मैंने 1 जून को आपकी एड को क्लिक किया है, अगर मैं 28 जून को जाके भी अगर मैं परचेस करूंगा पॉपअप के वेबसाइट से, it will then get attributed to Facebook. It's a one small change in the Facebook account that I'll do. जो पिछले महीने तक, मई महीने तक 1 मई को अगर कोई परचेस कर रहा, क्लिक कर रहा था, और अगर वो 8 मई को भी जाके परचेस कर रहा था, it was getting counted as organic.
Okay.
तो अभी क्या हो गया, मेरा टोटल धंधा तो सेम ही हो गया, बट वो एट्रीब्यूशन चेंज हो गई. तो वो आप ध्यान रखिएगा एक, कि एट्रीब्यूशन विंडो चेंज नहीं होना चाहिए, इंक्रीमेंटल धंधा आना. लास्ट मंथ तक फेसबुक का धंधा 0 था, इस महीने फेसबुक से धंधा 10 आ रहा है, तो 100 का 110 होना चाहिए ना कम से कम.
राइट.
वो हो रहा है कि नहीं, जस्ट मेजर. तो दैट्स व्हाई आई ऑलवेज से बिटवीन एट्रीब्यूशन एंड इंक्रीमेंटालिटी, मेजर फॉर इंक्रीमेंटालिटी. अगर आपने देखा रहेगा वो रजिस्टर नॉट परचेज का भी, मैं वी वर टॉकिंग अबाउट इंक्रीमेंटालिटी. मतलब ग्रोथ मतलब वही है ना यार, अपने को और इंक्रीमेंटल धंधा चाहिए. ये सब एट्रीब्यूशन वगैरह इन्वेस्टर वगैरह को दिखाने के लिए कर सकते हैं, बट अपने दिल से तो अपने को ऑनेस्ट रहना है ना कि धंधा बढ़ाना है. ठीक है. यस. एनी क्वेश्चन अपार्ट फ्रॉम दिस? Okay, there's someone who is raised hand.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes, I have one question, that agar we are dependent too much on agency, and if suppose we start building a parallel team in-house,
Yeah.
what is the first person in this we should recruit? Like what skill sets and what kind of experience we should look out for?
So there are two ways that you can go about it, depending on your budgets that you have, Supriya. There is some where I have operated. It's a more top-down approach that I have seen. They typically get a head of performance marketing or a head of growth person who will come, who has done this before, and then that person sets up the team. But I have worked with very well-funded companies. That's why they were able to afford. Another way that I've seen is where you get a digital marketing manager or someone who is hands-on, daily involved with these people. And then if you find that person is really good, then you actually groom that person to become the head of performance marketing over the next 1-2 years out there. So it's a very big, it's a function of budgets as well, wahan pe, to what budgets that you have, Supriya. I think for emerging D2C brands, it's the second way that will work much better. You find a good person and you grow that person. And I have seen that when, for example, Milk Basket did not have the funds or money, or like my CRM guy, my retention guy, not many people know Anant, our co-founder at Milk Basket. So these guys were used to work out of Starbucks at Vatika City, at Gurgaon, if you're wahan pe. So these three, Anant, Ashish, Yatish, Anurag, used to sit out of there. The barista there, who used to serve them coffee, that guy was our CRM guy. He was the one who will actually send the daily SMS. Like they trained him. So, and Mohit is doing fantastically well. And in fact, he's in port right now. His name is Mohit Yadav. So, isn't fantastic? They've evolved that way. So, I'm just saying that's another extreme. But you can find a good guy and you can actually groom that person that way. Yeah, Dheeraj.
Yeah. Hi, Prathamesh.
Dheeraj, are you based out of Bangalore by any chance?
No. I am out of Hyderabad.
Oh, those
Yeah.
clear skies, mein laga Bangalore hai. Yeah.
Sky
Louder
clearly,
only, sir.
Yeah. Sorry.
Can you be a bit louder? थोड़ा आवाज कम आ रहा है आपका.
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
So my question was, especially how do you measure the SEO effort, be it in terms of agency or a freelancer or somebody in-house? Is there a way to check, how is the SEO effort going in the right direction or not? It is not the total visitors, because it may increase because of a lot of factors.
No,
The
absolutely,
ads, the
absolutely
spillover
not, absolutely not.
How do you kind of pinpoint, or probably is there a way to check?
तो यार एक दो मैट्रिक मैं रखता था. Very good question, I think, धीरज. मतलब I think this is what, मतलब मैं metrics तो cover नहीं कर रहा था, but I think this is one thing that I always encourage everyone to like investing in SEO from day one. Please, if you're not, everybody should do that वहाँ पे from start onwards. So on that, Dheeraj, now I'll say we used to measure on two things, and this is probably, I guess, everybody should note it down. One is for how many keywords, generic keywords, non-branded, are we ranking in the top 3? That's one. मतलब अगर मैं September में I was ranking on 50 keywords in top 3, that number should eventually come to 100 in the next 2 months, 3 months. अगर मैं SEO पे एफर्ट कर रहा हूँ तो SEO का ना पूरा का पूरा it should be non-branded, non-paid के ऊपर. What I mean by non-branded is people searching for perfume 24/7. वो नहीं चाहिए यार. कल आपने एक इन्फ्लुएंसर ने perfume 24/7 बोला, आपका 100-200 सर्चेस ऐसे ही बढ़ जाएगा वहां पे. We want like good perfumes, for example. It's a generic term. Perfume suitable for Hyderabad location or perfume suitable for marriage. I don't know, whatever non-branded searches are happening. उसमें अगर आप top 3 searches में कितने searches में आ पा रहे हो, so that is first part. Second, what we used to do is we used to actually measure, मतलब हम लोग ये थोड़ा data देखते थे on Search Console, and then we will say non-branded, non-paid से और Google Analytics से वो data match करते थे हम लोग. Non-branded, non-paid कितनी traffic आ रही है मेरी. That was the target that we used to have. which are very closely interlinked. Eventually अगर आप ज़्यादा ऊपर आओगे तो वहाँ पे आएगा. तो ये दो चीज़, this was like my focus area वहाँ पे in terms of output. So it's always non-branded and non-paid. Make sense?
Fair enough.
Yeah. Yeah, Soumya. You're on mute. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. So I actually missed your last session. and and this one seems really interesting. I have a digital background, so everything that you're saying, it makes sense. My question is, so I'm very familiar with the dashboards. I'm ex-Twitter, so nobody
You're
gives
from
a shit
Twitter.
about Twitter.
You're from
Yeah. Yeah, I
Twitter.
used to handle the ad products in India and agency business. So
Wow.
that's not a tough part to understand the dash. My challenge is when I've started operating with the Facebook and Instagram dashboard.
Yeah.
My perspective always in the previous this thing was that Facebook and Instagram has a larger relevant audience for any female oriented products, which is true. Yes, like Twitter was more male centric audience. Now the thing is in this world, I feel whenever we are running the Instagram or Facebook campaigns, a majority of the people responding on that, I get spammed by influencers. So especially on Instagram, and maybe it's particularly for our category, I don't know, but we get a ton of requests for just barter collabs, from influencers, and we in general don't waste budgets at all on influencer marketing. uh, I missed the last time session. My question to you is, maybe you've covered it, portion of it in the
Yeah.
last one, but now is I don't know, obviously there's no way to filter them out, but how do you still run more effective Instagram campaigns without being, I just feel like it's a blind spot for me out there, even though we've changed the targeting, the relevant number of responses we get is very is much lesser than what I would
So
expect.
you do lead generation campaigns, or
So
what do
we
you-
do we do website website campaigns, some brand awareness campaigns as well. I feel it should be a mix of both, because when you're trying to drive top of the funnel awareness, you need to sort of build that brand awareness quotient, and also the CPC rates are sort of lower, and you also kill two birds with one stone by driving followers.
So Soumya, on that now, I think it's a very broad question asking how do I make my Instagram campaigns work well. Thoda sa broad hai. But a few things that we covered actually last time was, for example, getting the right postbacks to your platforms. I think that's fundamental. Like I'm sure you might be aware of this, whether my pixel is properly integrated or not on
Yeah.
Facebook, Instagram. Making sure that matches with your GA data as well as your backend data. I think that's becomes your first place. And what we've done is all the parameters, all the important parts, important events should be correctly passed. First of all, I think that is one part. And then second, Malab, it's important that you invest a lot on video. Go video first, to the point. Video first. In fact, how do you, I think there was one more thing that I wanted to share with everyone.
So on the video part, right, there are two ways you can run the video ads, and all of these platforms are moving towards video. That's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Now, either you have your own videos, or you have an influencer who's creating the content, and you run the
And I
paid
think the
ads on.
only, I think on that now, I think influencers, I see the value in that video creation, which you can use for your own performance marketing. If you have the rights for the video, these buggers, they are like, no, then the budget will become double. If you want to use my video on your,
paid.
Yeah. So I think how do you deal with it? I think it's very difficult nowadays. But the good part is with the economy slowing down, again, now you will have an upper hand.
So do you have any sort of perspective or data around whether between the ads made by the companies versus the ones made by
the ads made by influencers have a better click-through rate, definitely.
Okay.
It definitely has that. You have a certain amount of star power that comes because of them. So I strongly encourage if you can do that. And that's what I think I was making a point here. If it's a barter deal, nothing like it, you should not spend cash on that. And you can, if it's a barter deal, if you have 70% plus GM, should definitely push for that. Because I think that's for like 10,000, आपको cost 3,000 रुपए का पड़ा है वहाँ पे. So I'd encourage that. I think this is something, a few things that we covered. I try to spend more time on that, Soumya, थोड़ा सा in the fag end part. क्योंकि मैं पहले ये वाला खत्म करता हूँ जो चीजें मेरे को खत्म करनी थी. One more thing on this agent. Any questions on agency versus in-house? Anything on that? If not, I'll move ahead. Don't think there's any. So I'll move here. Okay. One of the things that I strongly encourage you guys, please invest in your emailers, capturing email IDs. There are newsletters where people have seen 10% plus open rates. People are still reading. FinShots, I think Ditto Insurance has relied a lot on emailers. They do really well. People, I think from my previous experience, I've seen Thursday, Sunday working really well, where people actually, not Saturday, actually it's Sunday, Thursday and Sunday, where people see higher open rates. Founder newsletters, I think in the onboarding part, we've seen at Milk Basket, people who used to come the first few days, like if you've signed up on Milk Basket, if you've done your first purchase, the first 5 days, 7 days, Anant himself wrote the newsletter. He used to send from a separate ID where he used to keep the replies open. Still people love that. So I strongly encourage if you can do that. Yeah. Apar, anything on this?
Yes, Prathamesh, I have a question. Ever since we started doing WhatsApp, instead of collecting emails, we're now collecting numbers, telephone numbers via WhatsApp. So which means our email subscriber list will not grow. Is there any other way to grow the email subscriber?
Yeah, checkout पे कर लो ना आप, checkout के time पे डाल दो एक option.
But most people don't end up putting, मतलब about our email वाला on checkout is just 40%. 60% लोग तुम number से निकल जाते हैं करके.
नहीं, number plus email डाल दो ना, मतलब email optional रख लो, but क्योंकि देखो क्या होगा ना, यार ये SMS हमें पूरा spam में जा रहा है. WhatsApp भी like आप ही ने point out किया 6 महीने में वो भी वैसे हो जाने वाला है. Email का वो हो गया है, email has plateaued. तो and email में ना the advantage that you have is that you can play around a lot with images in that. तो और उसको बहुत ही personalize रख सकते हो. तो in fact there are companies which have tried physical as well आज के टाइम में, and that has worked really well. मतलब LinkedIn पे जो PR मिल जाती है, मतलब उसका redemption भी अच्छा रहता है.
Okay.
Yeah, Aditya.
Hey Prathamesh. Prathamesh, one quick question is on what is the best way to kind of get these emails? Like we've tried a few things. I think right now what we do is we have a 10% off if somebody enters their email after like 50% scrolling through a page, so that it is not a spam also, and also only the interested folks are putting in. Have you seen anything else working really well apart from this to capture those relevant email IDs?
यार मेरे को ऐसा लगता है ना आदित्य, मतलब एक तो तुम्हारा परचेजर्स का है, ठीक है, ये क्या है, if there is a way that you can become, क्या बोलते हैं, start generating content around you. मतलब I was reading this book, very interesting, by Sahil Lavanya, Gumroad का founder, where he started Gumroad and he had a huge email list, and a lot of these folks, product hunt folks and everyone, or everybody has seen the social network where at Harvard he just emails that he has made this, the Facebook or the face smash that he has built. So I'm thinking actually the other way around, ki you build that expertise, or for example whatever you're doing right now. I'm sure Sharad, if tomorrow wants to start an email newsletter, like every 2 days, 3 days he starts writing about growth, he starts talking about building a D2C company. I think he has enough meat now, he can do it for the next 6 months. That can become like the cohort 4 के लिए easily, उसके लिए admissions के लिए. आज पता नहीं शरद ने आपको एक बार 2 बार कॉल किया रहेगा, जैकलिन ने, then you would have converted here. But the whole idea is वो सब करने की जरूरत नहीं पड़नी चाहिए. If you are becoming an expert, that's why I give the example of Ditto Insurance, where these FinShots guys were really an expert, the insurance experts say, they start building with content and community वहाँ पे, and then you actually sell the product. जो दुनिया बोलती है ना, content, community, commerce, and this is where I've seen with Gumroad especially, and he's given a lot of really good examples where people who were experts in a certain domain and then they started their क्या बोलते हैं, business around it. तो मैं emailers को वैसे देख रहा हूँ वहाँ पे. It need not be just product emailers. मतलब if you have certain expertise, मतलब आप लोगों ने देखो business चालू किया है, मतलब definitely you are in the top 0.5 percentile of that sector because you know those nuances and you want to make people aware about it. वहाँ पे मतलब जैसे भी नाम है Himalayan origins हम बोल रहे हैं, I'm sure there might be products which will have Himalayan origins, and I should ideally know क्या Himalayan pink salt के अलावा और क्या क्या होता है Himalayan origin का जो मेरी health को अच्छा कर सकता है या फिर मेरी life को अच्छा कर सकता है. that can be conveyed in a newsletter, and if you start conveying that, probably that will work better.
Okay.
तो मैं तो वहां पे बोल रहा हूँ कि आप content का एक, and this is then again related to what Perfumes 24/7 guy mentioned कि यार मेरा blog से मेरा SEO से क्या आएगा. अगर आप content वहां पे डालना चालू करेंगे तो लोग वहां पे सब्सक्राइब करना चालू करेंगे, तब बनेगा ना वहां पे आपकी कम्युनिटी.
Understood.
Hey, Prathamesh. So my question is, like again I said, right, fin shots hai, ya wherever products you're trying to follow which are probably expensive, let's say an iPhone or a Dyson, there when someone is giving you a 10% or 20%, you are kind of looking for that email or a newsletter coming in. Right?
Yeah.
For a skincare brand, let's say that ours is a men's personal care brand. And in that, again, it's a kind of a low involvement category for men, right? We're still trying to build awareness and build education around how skincare is important. Now, we've sent a lot of emails, and apart from once a while, those sales emails, nothing else have got great click-through rates, right? Like we have spoken about, skin concerns and everything else, right? Like really trying to make health better. But the click-through rates weren't great. But a sale email goes through, then yes, the click-through rates are really good.
Yeah.
So, in that sense, do you still recommend, newsletters or this thing to be really effective?
Yeah, it has worked. I know of, for a fact, a lot of companies sending recipe videos, recipe blogs, which are non-transactional, still getting good open rates wahan pe. So like product launches, people are able to do it with emailers wahan pe.
Email.
Yeah. So मैं बोलूँगा, it's something not, it's unlike performance marketing. I think that is the point that I wanted to highlight. क्योंकि हम लोगों ना आदत है यार, आज मैंने ad चलाई, मेरे को कल धंधा आ गया. तो and problem ये ना, ये वो drug जैसा है यार. Then we get more dependent कि यार पिछले महीने मेरा 5 लाख का सेल हुआ है, इस महीने तो 5 लाख का नहीं है. Then you become more dependent. बोलते हैं ठीक है, cost तो बाद में explain कर लेंगे, LTV बढ़ गया, CAC बढ़ गया and all that. So इसलिए my whole goal, if you see the way I think it's being discussed, is building those alternate channels so that your growth is not dependent on that. तो इसका 1 + 1 = 2 नहीं होता है. This starts happening probably after 3 months, 6 months, once you start building it.
Because initially we also tried this pop-up that, okay, to collect your, the email IDs, drop your email ID and you get that 10% off or 20% off on just signing up. But again, we couldn't, unless we forced an email during the checkout, we really couldn't gather them. So, and unless a purchase happened, yes.
Point ये ना, इसका देखेंगे ना आप, cost इतना low है ना email का currently. So in the long run, actually, it starts making sense. Actually,
making sense.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah. I'll quickly move ahead. Yep. I think this is some that we spoke last time as well. Please, video बनाने के लिए don't go to big creative agencies. 2 hacky ways. Go for smaller videos, agencies or influencers. Influencers literally free का cost में आपको video production मिल जाता है. आप बहुत easily बना सकते हो. Definitely go ahead with that. बड़ी एजेंसीज के पास टाइम वेस्ट मत कीजिए. First, मतलब मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि यार a lot of big creative agencies still don't have the digital expertise. They don't understand the digital channel, how to do it. तो इसके लिए मैं बोलूँगा आपको. Yes. One of the questions again that comes is whether we should go ahead with vernacular communication or not. I have seen it only work in these 3-4 markets: Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Tamil Nadu, Kerala. Karnataka में भी अभी तक देखा नहीं है. That's why I haven't put it here. If your core audience lies in these markets, please invest in creating content. I would say vernacular content like the videos or your images. Otherwise, नहीं तो इसके ऊपर इतना ज़्यादा effort मारने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. One more follow up to this: if you are super premium, I think जो मेरे ख्याल से 2 लोग थे, 4 and 4 sustainable, and I think Wisdom also, they were mentioning that they're super premium. If you're super premium, please don't even think about vernacular. ज़रूरत नहीं है, not required. Any questions? Or I think one of the things that has worked well for us is the influencers. The local influencers matter really well. When we were at Milk Basket, when we were launching Hyderabad, the local influencers actually helped us get a good traction initially. Yeah. Anything anyone wants to know? Any doubts? Nothing? I think one of the questions I think I missed, info Biblis. Soumya, I'll just come to you. I think they asked, do you suggest linking marketing to Ayurveda D2C brand? Specific ho sakta hai info Biblis?
Hi, Prathamesh, Nikita here. So I'm kind of curious to know, how does LinkedIn marketing work? Have you tried it? And do you suggest
LinkedIn marketing. Okay, okay. LinkedIn marketing we tried during our milk basket days. What I've seen typically is it has worked only in B2B. It has only worked where you want to generate leads. It has worked for recruitment. It has from LinkedIn leading to an app or a website and then purchasing. नहीं, ये मैंने अभी तक देखा नहीं है. अभी तक नहीं देखा है. At Milk Basket थोड़ा सा हमने buzz create करने के लिए, like Soumya was mentioning, to create that initial awareness. We used it, but the CPMs are so high, मतलब it doesn't make sense अगर आप basic ROS वगैरह measure करने जाओगे तो.
Right.
I think real estate वगैरह में चल जाता है. Ayurveda D2C, I'm not very sure. Not very sure.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Yeah, Soumya.
In terms of just when you spoke about the local influencers, in the initial stages, you obviously would have gone direct to these people, right? And what in your what I've seen is usually, obviously with the agencies, it doesn't make sense to pay these people to get the right guys. So usually we directly approach, you know. But is there a way to identify the right local influencers that you just mentioned?
I think this is where the agency actually helps, where they have all the data about their recent posts, their engagement, what they're getting. ये सब ready stack available रहता है. I think Good Glam Group has, I think they have acquired someone which does this work for them. If your agency cost is not exceeding 3% or 5%, then I think you should go ahead with that, because you can then compete, you can then actually measure different influencers against each other. मतलब वो एक Excel में आता है, it becomes very easy for us to measure and then to estimate कि हम लोग जब post करेंगे क्या होगा, उसका क्या नहीं होगा. उसके अलावा खुद से जाने करने जाओगे ना, बहुत difficult है वहाँ पे सौम्या. Because you need to find the brand fit as well यार. मतलब अगर somebody जो जंक खाता है और अगर हिमालयन ओरिजिन्स की बात करेगा, it won't fit वहाँ पे. Like for fresh to home for example, it might be यार अगर कोई वेजिटेरियन है उसको अप्रोच करो, उसमें टाइम वेस्ट करो, वो इवेंचुअली बोल देगा यार मैं तो मीट को प्रमोट नहीं कर सकते, फिर तो प्रॉब्लम हो गई वहाँ पे. तो आई विल एनकरेज यू टू गो विद एजेंसी, और वो एक सिंपल फॉर्मेट रहता है सबका, कितने फॉलोअर्स है, कौन से सिटी से है, क्या है, it becomes very easy then to measure.
Okay.
Yeah, Aditya.
Hey, Prathamesh, my question is actually on the email that we were discussing in the previous slide. So we currently have, we have automated flows around, add to carts dropout, browser abandons, and so on.
Perfect.
Which are running, scaling automatically. We built them once and left it. Plus, we do one newsletter every week, which is focused around a message from the co-founder, etc. We're actually trying to crack a third one, which is around post-purchase, to be able to get either referrals or repeats from the same users. But we haven't been able to crack that as yet. I'm just curious to learn, are there any learnings that you've seen which can help in building that post-purchase funnel, especially to drive repeats/referrals?
तो रेफरल का तो मैंने वहीं पे देखा है, मतलब these are these running certain spikes as well. मतलब what used to happen ना, मतलब कि for us, if I were to check referral again, like I remember at Milk Basket we used to run this friendship day वगैरह कुछ आता था, so we used to create certain excitement around that वहाँ पे कि it's a friendship day and we will also up the offer वहाँ पे. So that is the time that we used to get these spikes. Otherwise, I think it's just the usage and that happy flow that we call about. कि जैसे भी Zomato Pro का, for example, if I have saved money, कहीं पे मैंने पे कर लिया है डाइनिंग के टाइम पे, और फिर मेरे को फ्री डिलीवरी मिला है, I got it under the desired time, उस टाइम पे एक्चुअली मेरे को रेफरल का आता है वहाँ पे. It's like वहाँ पे नीचे बार आता है. So I think you need to find out those happy moments when people use LDU. LDU का full form के बारे में आदित्य?
Let's dress up.
Let's dress up. Sorry, yeah. Let's dress up. So when they have that happy flow, na, I think that is the moment that you should actually pinch it to.
Okay, so identifying those wow
moments, yeah, wow moments for your consumers. That will help. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Few things for everyone. Speak to your Google support team. Get your account whitelisted for these key features where you can run video only if it's a app wala, where you can run only video only app campaigns on YouTube. Non-skippable, I think last time we spoke, आप सबका सिर्फ 15 सेकंड में चलेगा. Urban company 20 सेकंड का चलाता है, तो get it whitelisted for 20 seconds. Performance Max अभी सबके पास आ गया है. This was actually old जब ये सबके पास नहीं आया था. Instagram shop integration, I don't know whether everybody has got it or not. Just go and check it. You can create a shop on Instagram. You can get direct sales on that. In your search ads, you can add images as well. Images definitely give you better CTR. Get them whitelisted for these features. You probably just need to write it to your Google Drive if you have, or if you not, support pe ticket raise karo. They will whitelist. It's just a question about asking them. Should not be a problem. I think we spoke about branding slightly last time. What I would strongly encourage you, yes, if you want to build awareness, you can experiment. You should run videos strongly wahan pe. How it should actually operate is you work with this 15-20 seconders with a frequency of 3 or 5. Then actually do a follow-up with a 6 seconder. Then this is how you will be able to actually build that right top funnel for your brand. Now, what I have done here is I've done a random calculation for one of the brands where we saw on digital, they were getting a reach of 55 lakhs, whereas on TV, they were just getting a reach of 14 lakh once they were doing. Now, we actually estimated the cost, what are the spends, and if you know the way it works, reach and frequency, at a frequency of 3, they'll be able to reach 49 lakh, whereas in TV, they'll be able to reach only 4 lakh people. That's how it works. And then I actually evaluated what was the cost per unique reach. On TV, it was really, really expensive. So a lot of times people ask, should we advertise on Hotstar? Should we advertise on MX Player? Should we advertise on TV? Guys, what I'll strongly encourage, पहले YouTube कर लो, उसके बाद बाकी सब कर लेना. अभी ये just focus on YouTube right now. YouTube में you have everything out there, each and everything. तो beyond YouTube आपको move करने की जरूरत नहीं है. अगर आपने YouTube कर लिया है, you've achieved, and they have all the targeting filters, everything they have. उसके आगे कुछ करने का जरूरत नहीं है. So I think yeah, this is on videos. I think this also we spoke last time. We were talking about कितना लंबा वीडियो रहना चाहिए. ये Google का ही है. हमने भी डेटा देखा है. People actually engage with much more with longer video. So if you have the right storyline, 15-20 second non-skippable जो भी आपका रहेगा, उसके आगे it does not even matter. I think yeah, Aditya.
Prathamesh, quick question. Have you been like we've started with YouTube sometime back, but we haven't been able to get any kind of ROAS etc. from YouTube. We purely run it at a small budget to just drive some kind of traffic / brand awareness. Have you been able to see good ROAS numbers coming in through YouTube videos?
So actually, this is where I was actually coming to. मतलब ये जो आपका question है आदित्य, branding का ROAS नहीं आने वाला है. If you're doing it for branding, नहीं आने वाला है. So few things that you see once you do branding ना, क्या होता है? Companies का ना, in the long term, they see a lot of improvement in that brand actually. and this is something मेरा भी learning रहा है. मेरे को आप 2 साल पहले मिलते हैं, मैं लड़ता था, मैं बोलता था branding के ऊपर पैसा खर्च ही मत करो. I was that guy. I'd fight. But what my learning has been कि यार वो branding करके ना, that growth actually comes in quarters, months, doesn't come in days or weeks. वहाँ पे. So how do you actually measure branding का impact ना? There are 2-3 things that you should actually look at it. First of all is your spike in brand search volume. So if you're doing something, people should actually search for let's dress up. वहाँ पे. You can see how many searches are happening for your brand keyword right now. What happened last month? What is happening this month? Whether there is a spike or not. Whether your organic sessions on your Google Analytics, whether that is improving or not. That is second metric that you should see. Third is your organic conversions, whether they are improving or not. These are your 3 key metrics. Beyond that, you will see your performance marketing CAC actually improving. Because you're doing branding, your top of the funnel is getting built. While these are 3-4 things which you will be able to see immediately in a weekly or a monthly level, in a long term, you should see, for example, let's dress up का अगर कोई competitor है, direct competitor, या if there's someone else, आपके brand का ना searches ऐसे बढ़ता जाएगा, and it's very straightforward. I'll just show you. Present my screen. So I encourage you guys should use this very basic tool, search trends. Let's take, okay. Blinkit, India, okay. I compare it with Septo. These are the 2 companies, if you see. This is how the search trends are going. यहाँ पे. So what happens? मतलब ये तो past 12 months का है, और अगर मैं एक simple कर देता हूँ, Growth is fairly long term. Big basket यहाँ पे. मैं इसको past 5 years के लिए भी देख सकता हूँ यहाँ पे. This is how they both have operated यहाँ पे. अगर आप देखोगे last year से Growth तो बंद ही हो रहा था. These spikes which you see ये आपके आए हैं what से यहाँ पे कोविड के टाइम पे, और ये जो ऊपर आते हैं यहाँ पे सिंपल देख लेते हैं हमारा कैटेगरी. Licious. You see this growth that comes. Initially तो सब सेम ही थे वहाँ पे, सब कुछ सेम ही चल रहा था, फिर देखो आप ऊपर आने लग गए. All these are attributed to pure branding वहाँ पे. Does that make sense?
Yep.
ठीक है, ठीक है. Just a second. क्या cancel है? नहीं होगा. ठीक है, मैं चला था ऑफिस में. Yes. Yeah. So I'll present my screen again. Yeah. The way you should look at branding, no? I think your conversion rate will show an improvement. Your non-brand searches के लिए CTR improve हो जाता है. You should see your अगर आपका sales cycle का duration कुछ है, that should actually show and decrease. So branding का impact won't be directly in ROS, but beyond that. Does that make sense, Aditya?
Yeah, Prathamesh, does. Yep. Thank you so much.
And again, branding के ऊपर investment शुरू में मैं बोलूँगा should not be more than 20-30% of your marketing budget. Should not be. शरद रूमी नहीं, किसका था वो जो Facebook ROS पे था सेशन, वो हो गया?
Facebook return on ad spend. So that was basically Gaurisha,
yeah. उनका 15
yeah, not yet. Hasn't happened yet.
हाँ नहीं हुआ क्या? I think she will give you a very good idea between Facebook पे कितना करना चाहिए because she has done that very well for her D2C brand. Yes. So coming back, one more thing I'll encourage you, if you have good spends, you can explore DCO. DCO is dynamic creative optimizations. What we mean by DCO is, you would have seen in ads, Hotstar ads, Dhoni is on 49, why don't you click on Hotstar? So these are some dynamic creatives. मतलब यहाँ पे अगर आप देखोगे, just clickable नहीं है यहाँ पे, या so what happens is, different types of offers that you can give. You can give offers basis, you can give creative basis of temperature. It's actually hot outside. Why don't you get a massage at home? Why are you moving out? Or something like that. So if you can think of dynamic creatives where you can put 2-3 different things, जैसे भी आप यहाँ पे देखोगे मैगी का, जहाँ पे लोग different coupon code यहाँ पे इन्होंने डाल के रखे हैं. You can actually run these type of creatives as well. We have seen it to be having 25% plus higher CTRs. वैसा है, तो it's like that big. So मैं बोलूँगा इसमें opportunity miss बिल्कुल नहीं करनी चाहिए. If you can, और इधर मैंने agency का नाम लिखा है Hockey Curve. I've seen them working well. You can directly contact Hockey Curve. काफी solid लोग हैं वो लोग. Now, I think a lot of times ना हम लोग focus करते हैं traffic. परासर का session हो गया CRO पे? हो गया ना. तो बॉस अगर कन्वर्जन पे करना है, प्लीज उसके ऊपर फोकस करो. मतलब मैं देखा है कंपनीज का यार, कन्वर्जन के ऊपर पूरी गेम चेंज हो गई है. मतलब कैक बदल जाता है, पूरा आपका ROS बदल जाता है जस्ट ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ कन्वर्जन. एंड इट्स एज सिंपल एज चेंजिंग द बैनर्स. बैनर के ऊपर ऑफर डालना चालू कर दिया, लोगों की कन्वर्जन रेट इंप्रूव हो गई है. तो लाइक दीज आर फ्यू थिंग्स दैट मैं बोलूंगा कि आप कन्वर्जन में ना, if you have someone, you can even keep an intern just to, उसको बोलो यार competition का सर्च करते रहो. उसमें देखो कि आप क्या क्या कर सकते हो. उसमें क्लिक टू सेशन क्या होता है, सेशन टू चेकआउट क्या होता है, चेकआउट टू ऑर्डर वगैरह, कितना टाइम स्पेंड कर रहे हैं, बाउंस रेट क्या हो रहा है, कन्वर्जन रेट क्या हो रहा है. If you just keep these 5-6 metrics ना, you will understand. And there are like certain tools called as like Hotjar होता है, and there are certain tools where you can actually record the sessions, what people are doing. So if you have that, you will be able to improve your conversion rate really well. So while there is a focus on traffic, I'll tell you day by day it's getting expensive. Like company अभी तो यार वो IPL का 50,000 करोड़ देख के मुझे लग रहा है कि 2023 के बाद advertising on IPL is going to become so expensive because eventually they want to make money. So your CPMs are going to rise further. So it's important that you focus on your conversion really, really well. आज आपके वेबसाइट का अगर conversion rate 1.5% है, trust me, there's a huge lacuna there. You can go to 3, 4, 5%. Now always, whenever you're measuring the conversion rate, एक चीज ध्यान रखिएगा, source equal to organic का ही check कीजिए. A lot of affiliates, a lot of traffic is bad traffic, कचरा traffic है जो there's no intent to purchase, click करके गलती से आ गए. Organic वाले genuine customers हैं, just see whether उनका conversion rate कितना है. You should always keep on tracking that. One more thing, I've seen people उनका Facebook ad account बंद होते हुए. Yeah, I've seen लोगों का ad account बंद होते हुए. You can keep a track of your Facebook quality score. अपने Facebook account में जाइए. You can see that. Fairly basic Google है. See where you are. Facebook keeps on collecting data about you. कि how are you doing? This is your customer feedback. ठीक है? So make sure your quality score has to be always more than 3. अगर 3 के ऊपर नहीं है, बहुत प्रॉब्लम हो जाएगा. 2 के नीचे गए तो फिर पेनल्टी लगना चालू हो जाती है. Like your CPMs is getting higher. Just give me a second. क्या है? Yeah, just give me a second. इधर. वो Sorry guys, my dog was disturbing me. Yeah. Go and check your quality score. Please, आपका ad account बंद हो जाएगा, फिर problem हो जाएगी वहाँ पे. Next. Yeah, I think we spoke about SEO. SEO fairly basic. On Lighthouse Insights, keep on checking your website score. How is it coming? If you have not seen this, I'll just show you this tool. Yeah. Could be as simple as, I hope you can see my screen. You can just check your website. You will know what you need to do. आपके images heavy हैं या क्या है, अगर आपने ज़्यादा ही आपने tags डाल के रखे हैं, you can directly measure and you can improve your SEO. ज़्यादा कुछ research या फिर कुछ करने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. Very simple. It's taking your time. Yeah. You see here, it actually gives you all the data here. यहाँ पे पूरा का पूरा आपको दे देता है Amazon का. This is an open tool. You can actually run it for yourself. मतलब अगर मैं यहाँ पे आपको sharing this link here, please check it out. मतलब fairly easy. और देखते रहो कि आपका SEO में whether that's improving or not. Yeah, Deep.
Yeah, just wanted to check how to check the Facebook score. Where exactly? Like, is it in the ads account we can check, or where we can check?
मैं आपको दिखा देता हूँ यहाँ पे. मतलब यहाँ पे आपके अकाउंट में ही आता है. मतलब it's fairly, कहाँ गया ये, आपके एड अकाउंट में ही आता है. मतलब मैंने तो उसी में देखा था. मैं आपके एक बार चेक करना पड़ेगा. मैंने तो ये अपने इसमें देखा था, अभी मुझे दिख नहीं रहा है यहाँ पे. एक बार एड अकाउंट में सर्च कर लीजिएगा.
ठीक है.
अगर नहीं आता तो एक बार मेरे को जस्ट रीच आउट टू मी, मैं देख लेता हूँ कहाँ पे देखना है. I'll try to share the screenshots with you.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. क्योंकि ना फिर नहीं तो एड अकाउंट बंद हो जाता है. Next one, quick one, I'll just share here. I'm sure all of you might be using dynamic ads. If you're not, it's like the feed that you use. इसको बिल्कुल use कीजिए. If you're in right now, as far as I know, Facebook gives you running dynamic ads in these 4 categories. What I mean by dynamic ads is the retargeting one that you can use. मतलब वहाँ पे कि you can use, अगर आपने देखा रहेगा बॉम्बे बैंगलोर का, अगर आपने फ्लाइट सर्च किया है, then it starts showing you those ads, clear trip या वगैरह with dynamic prices. So this has, if you've typically seen, this works very well in retargeting. Gives you very good results. So you should definitely measure this. Yeah, Aditya.
Prathamesh, my question is on the SEO side actually.
Yeah.
So we've actually spent time on the on-site part of SEO, which is ensuring the website is built well, has the tags, etc. in place, and so on. We're trying to work on the offsite side of things, which is around getting the relevant backlinks and so on. I'm just curious to learn what are some of the best practices that one should focus on, especially when one is trying to work on the offsite SEO optimization around backlinks, etc. Because we've been spending some time, but the other time spent nahi kiya hai and haven't really gotten a lot of results. At least our initial hypothesis is to identify the right set of keywords, उन keywords पे सही content लिखवाओ from the right set of people.
I think very good question. Actually ना इसके ऊपर मैंने भी काम नहीं किया है, आपको सच बता दूं तो ये बैकलिंक लेके आने वाला काम ना नहीं किया है मैंने. तो I guess I can connect you with someone who was in my SEO team, Aditya. हम एक बार ऑफलाइन कनेक्ट करते हैं, उनसे मैं कनेक्ट कर लेता हूँ, क्योंकि मेरे को भी ऑन साइड ही समझती है, ऑफ साइड वाला मैंने भी नहीं किया है. आई थिंक दिस इज अ ह्यूज ब्लैक बॉक्स फॉर मी एज वेल. तो सीखना है वो.
साथ में सीख लेते हैं.
लेकिन is it important? Yes, that's important. That's very important. How do you get it? I think I don't have an answer right now. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah, Par.
No, be great if you can connect with the relevant.
You were talking
I'll do
about,
that. Yeah.
Yeah, you were talking about the retargeting ads. So what we are doing right now as a case, we are targeting people 0 to 3 visitors on website, 0 to 3 days, 3 to 7, and up to 30 days. So 13 to 30 days. There is a metric on Facebook called frequency, that how frequently the same ad is showing to the person. Acha, okay.
Go ahead.
My question was, what's a good frequency number? So I've been reading somewhere it's certain 5, somewhere it's in 6, okay, 7. 7 से ऊपर नहीं जाना है, but this is aggregate across last 7 days, 14 days, 30 days.
30 days. 30
days. Okay.
30 days. 7. मतलब वो 7 के ऊपर ना कैक फटना चालू होता है, कुछ मिलता नहीं है उसके ऊपर.
Okay, so what I have seen with my brand, 5 के ऊपर ही फट जाता है मेरा कैक. So I try to keep it below 5.
मैंने 7 पे देखा है, उसके आगे तो मैं बोलूंगा वो मत करो. And I think this was one, again, this is a point that I have put it here, कि वेबसाइट के लिए ऑडियंस क्रिएशन कैसे करें. ऐप के लिए फेयरली स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड होती है. वेबसाइट के लिए कैसे करें, तो somebody who has viewed a product, somebody has added cart, or somebody has registered, I think you can do it. At the same time, you can actually create certain segments where somebody who's had more than 3 sessions but no purchase. You can add certain goals वहाँ पे, view product, add to goal, and you can run different campaigns for different, like once you start scaling, मतलब सिर्फ purchase के ऊपर नहीं, you can start creating an audience that I'll focus on getting add to cart, I'll focus on getting a registration, I'll focus on getting then purchase. Like these are these different events that you can actually start running campaigns as well.
Wow.
Yeah, I think this was on the audience creation that we were talking about. Very similar. On frequency, yes, 7 is where I think we should be focusing on. Yeah, I think this is there. We spoke about the 3 under-leveraged channels in the start itself. It's not purchase, so हमारा cover हो गया in the start itself. I think a few things that I would encourage you guys must have at this time. See, analytics hacks बोल दो या analytics must चीजें बोल दो. I think we covered that the funnel events should be integrated across all the platforms. Your ads should have the UTMs properly so that in GA you can track it correctly. UTM helps you to understand whether कोई social से आ रहा है, कोई performance marketing से आ रहा है, वो clearly अलग हो जाएगा. Where we are really talking about which campaign, emailer का कौन से campaign से आ रहा है, कैसे आ रहा है, किस type of content पे आ रहा है. One thing that I have seen now, one mistake or error that your developer might be doing is he might be triggering the event as soon as somebody clicks the button. उस पे मत करना, उसके बाद जो पेज आता है उस पे वो इवेंट ट्रिगर होना चाहिए. मतलब अगर किसी का add to cart हम बोल रहे हैं, add to cart के बाद जो नेक्स्ट पेज आता है तब वो आना चाहिए. अगर वो बटन ट्रिगर पे होता है ना, देयर इज सम लॉस दैट हैपेंस. अगर आपके इसमें add to cart में दिखेगा 100 लोगों ने add to cart किया है, एक्चुअली शायद 60 या 70 नहीं किया हुआ है. किसी ने चेकआउट पे क्लिक किया हुआ है, 100 लोगों ने चेकआउट पे क्लिक किया, लेकिन चेकआउट के पेज के ऊपर ही इससे 40-50 आ रहे हैं. सो कितने लोग 40-50 लोग नेक्स्ट पेज पे आ रहे हैं, ऑलवेज कीप ऑन दैट. मतलब ये हमने एप्स में तो बहुत ज्यादा देखा हुआ है. तो ये वाला ना, just ensure that the events are configured correctly in terms of analytics. I think this is one thing that you should ensure. Again, once you're evaluating, I know a lot of you folks are not hardcore into digital or performance marketing, but last time as I spoke, you should get your hands dirty. फिलहाल इसमें ये यहाँ पे घुसने की जरूरत नहीं है. मतलब for example, I'll say एक एग्जांपल देता हूँ आपका क्लिक्स टू सेशंस. मतलब if you'll see on your panel, Facebook panel, you'll see 100 clicks, but आपके जो Google Analytics पे सेशन आ रहे हैं 60-70 आ रहे हैं. There is a drop off which happens. Now, if you see, अगर आप ये डेली लेवल पे अगर आप क्लिक्स टू सेशन रेट अगर आप देखोगे, अगर गिर गया, मतलब that's when you understand बहुत कुछ तो फट गया. ±5% समझ सकता हूँ कि एड यूआरएल अगर लोड नहीं हो रही ड्यू टू सम रीजन, मतलब कुछ फटा वहां पे हमारी प्रोडक्ट टीम से. हैविंग दीस की मेट्रिक्स ऑन अ डे ऑन डे बेसिस विल बी हेल्पफुल टू यू टू कीप थिंग्स दैट यू आर ऑन टॉप ऑफ इट. तो ये मैंने एक एग्जांपल दिया क्लिक्स टू सेशन रेट का. इन अ सिमिलर वे बहुत ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट चीज रहती है जो आपके एड की आरओएस, सारे लोग आरओएस की बात करें, यू डू इट इन डिफरेंट डिमेंशंस. What I mean by different dimension is, for example, किसी age group में आप देखोगे आपका ad का ROI बहुत अच्छा है. Double down on that ad on that age group. While you're spending it, मतलब does it make sense जहाँ पे आपका ROI lower है. In a similar way, आपका क्या बोलते हैं, placement wise, platform wise भी आप देख सकते हो. This will actually help you to create creators in for that segment. कि मैं Instagram stories के लिए बनाऊँ, Facebook stories के लिए बनाऊँ, which is slightly a longer form, 4:3 size का वीडियो में बना सकता हूँ. Whereas feed में मैं 1:1 का बनाऊंगा वहाँ पे. So you can very easily measure these dimensions वहाँ पे. In a similar way, I think this is very very critical. Search पे जब आप campaigns run करते हो, आप actually keyword level पे आप अपना देख सकते हो कि आपका CAC कितना चल रहा है. And then there are these long tail keywords जिसके ऊपर आपका 3,000-4,000 रुपया CAC आता रहेगा. बस क्यों करना है उसके ऊपर? आपका अगर एक ROS डिफाइंड है, मेरे को ROS 1 पे रखना है. ROS 1 मेरा आता है CAC ऑफ अराउंड फॉर एग्जांपल 500 to 800 के बीच में. Then anything that gives me more than 1,000, I don't need to spend money on that. So I think that was one. I think CAC at a keyword level, and second, how much impression that we are losing. मतलब that impression share loss. It actually helps you कि हम कितना incremental conversions ला सकते हैं उस keyword के ऊपर. Aditya, just a second, I'll just finish this. I think these are few hacks that I've got from my team as well. मतलब वो लोग actually जो agencies है जिनके काम किया है, they actually tell you how, like in display, your delivery type should be standard. It should not be accelerated. These are very basic level things. मतलब location settings में आप जाके देखो, people who are in or regularly in your targeted locations, there are 2-3 different options that are given. So just go and check whether you are actually doing this or not in your ad account, or you can just copy paste and share it with your ad agency or your digital marketing team member. That's it. Facebook ads, I think we have spoken about this. Facebook feed, Insta feed ke baare mein. Remarketing campaign mein, I think we spoke apart about the frequency cap. There's something called as campaign budget optimization, CBO. I think it has evolved well. Between CBO and ad set based optimization, just CBO mein, Facebook recommends to doing CBO. I have not seen that work. You can just try it for yourself. I think, yeah, that is all from my side. Yes, I think a few folks wanted to chat. Aditya was there and Deep. Yeah, Deep, go ahead. First, I'll take yours.
Okay. Just a question. If the ad is not performing or the ROS is, on the lower side, then should we keep on doing it, or we should stop the ad?
Because beyond the spend of, I think, 10,000, 20,000, if it's not worked, your agency or a digital marketing partner will say, just wait, it will work, it will work. 20,000, 30,000 पे काम नहीं किया ना, spends पे, then it won't work. Then you need to tweak.
How many days? And in days wise, or there's no such thing as days?
Days तो देखो यार, मैं 20,000 3 घंटे में भी खत्म कर सकता हूँ और 3 दिन में भी कर सकता हूँ. तो it will depend. It's on the budget. It's dependent on the number of impressions that you are serving.
20-30 हजार अगर हो जाते और अभी तक conversions
नहीं किया तो problem है. तो then ad में भी बहुत variables होते हैं यार. Targeting में problem है आपका, creative में problem है, creative के USP में problem है, offer में problem है, colors में problem है, landing page का URL में problem है, click through rate similar आ रहा है, but click करके user land ही नहीं कर पा रहा है, आपने URL ही गलत डाल के रखी है.
Okay.
That's why these different dimensions I was talking about.
Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah. Yeah, Aditya.
Hey, Prathamesh, on the click to session slide, you obviously showed that it's important to keep a track. वो एकदम से dip नहीं होना चाहिए. But even the numbers, like what's a decent benchmark to have? कि मतलब because it will never be like 100%. We've seen it to be.
आपको ना आप अपना historically देखो, मतलब it's very wrong to compare. For example, let's dress up with, for example, a blanket for that matter, or Myntra for that matter. Everybody's at a different stage. आप देखो आपका clicks to session rate कितना चल रहा है, and obviously it should be on an increasing trend, but it should not be on a decreasing, and there should not be a sudden dip here वहाँ पे.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, Deepak.
Yes, actually, I have a question which is like related to the last session too. Like you were saying in the last session, in the audio category, earphones category, there is a 75-25 split. between the offline and online. And then let's say if we talk about the 75%, if in the marketplace model, like if I talk about last financial year, हमारा जो revenue split है 95% is covered through marketplaces, 5% is given through my website. So the challenge which we are facing right now is our CAC is quite high, and marketplace में आपको पता है offers भी चलाने पड़ते हैं, deals भी होती हैं, and sale भी आती रहती है eventually महीने में एक बार. तो उस ड्यूरेशन में हम प्राइसेस काफी ज्यादा ड्रॉप कर देते हैं बिकॉज वी हैव लाइक यू नो सम सॉर्ट ऑफ सपोर्ट फ्रॉम द मार्केटप्लेसेस, बट दैट आई कांट डू ऑन माय ओन वेबसाइट. तो उसमें फिर प्राइसिंग डिफरेंस आ जाता है. जैसे मेरा एक एसक्यू है वो हम 800 का सेल कर रहे हैं ऑन माय वेबसाइट एंड हमने उसको 600 का कर दिया ऑन लेट्स से फ्लिपकार्ट, एंड मेरा कैंपेन भी चल रहा है, मैं उस कैंपेन को भी फेसबुक पे नहीं रोक सकता. तो ये कहीं ना कहीं थोड़ा सा हमारा डिलेमा बन जाता है कि हम क्या करें. हमारी यूनिट इकोनॉमिक्स सफर करती है, एंड सिंस we are an earphone brand, we don't have that many SKUs. We believe in creating hero SKUs. मेरी ब्लॉग में अगर 8-10 SKU ही हैं, 3-4 हीरो हैं जिस पे हम प्ले करते हैं, तो 3-4 का प्राइस मैंने मार्केट प्लेस पे ड्रॉप कर दिया, तो मेरी वेबसाइट की सेल कैसे बिल्ड होगी? एंड सिंस वी वांट टू पिच इन्वेस्टर एंड दे आस्क कि आपका एटलीस्ट आपका रेवेन्यू बहुत ज्यादा कम है आपकी वेबसाइट से, it should be 75-25 split minimum. So how should I increase my revenue on my website? And मुझे since loss making business नहीं बनाना,
मतलब वो ना बहुत क्लासिक हो जाएगा यार. मतलब अगर आपने वो omni channel अप्रोच सही नहीं रखी ना, जस्ट फॉर इमीडिएट सेल्स अगर आप वो करते रहे ना, इट विल बी अ रैबिट होल. मतलब क्रेड वाले आपसे डिस्काउंट मांगेंगे, फ्लिपकार्ट वाले, अमेजोन वाले, देन आप अपनी वेबसाइट तो कभी बना ही नहीं पाओगे. एंड आई थिंक दैट इज वेयर आई एम फंडामेंटली क्वेश्चनिंग द बोट मॉडल. मतलब कि बोट का भी सेल्स आई थिंक 80% प्लस उनका मार्केट प्लेस से ही आता है,
ज्यादा ही है, उससे भी ज्यादा ही.
Yeah, मतलब I fundamentally have a question. मतलब they are going for IPO, fantastic.
Even exactly, even उनका जो आर्टिकल था, आर्टिकल में it was clearly mentioned, which was published on a newspaper, कि उनको यही चैलेंज सबसे बड़ा आ रहा है कि मेजरली लाइक अगर 100 हेडफोन बिक रहे हैं तो 90-95 are driven on the marketplaces.
No, I think then probably that's what I think Wakefit does really well, where they have certain bank offer or card offers or these offers that are valid on their own platform, and you will have, for example, first discovery, and this is where your category starts coming into picture. अगर आप देखोगे बहुत क्या करते हैं, अपने 2-3 हीरो प्रोडक्ट्स मार्केटप्लेस पे रखते हैं, and then eventually they have the large category, the large product portfolio on their own website. They don't give everything out there.
So what we can do is probably bring some exclusive selection for our website.
Yeah, I think that is what you will need to give, that wider selection, much better discount offers out there. Sorry.
No,
much better discount offers out there on your website. Pricing ठीक है. अगर आपका आज अगर आपके 4 SKUs हैं, what you can do is on your own website you can have like 30-40 SKUs. That is something that you can do. देखो delivery वगैरह product experience में you can't beat them. You can't beat an Amazon, Flipkart and delivery experience or a product experience. उसमें मत करो आप. You can only beat them on your product portfolio. That's it. और उसी पे play करो. और for example, if you are selling something, try to get them back on your website. Everybody is trying to do that. आज सारे डंजो वगैरह पे सब लोग वही कर रहे हैं. सारे ग्रोसरी वाले, वाओ वाले, मामा अर्थ वाले.
So like हमारा जो revenue split है, it should be like 75-25, which is in general.
Yeah, I think that is what you should aim for.
वेबसाइट पे ज्यादा ड्राइव करने की कोशिश करें, उससे
बिल्कुल. और वो एडवर्टाइजमेंट से नहीं होगा दीपक. एडवर्टाइजमेंट से मत करने जाओ, आरओएस फटा हुआ ही रहेगा आपका. Your conversion rate on your store versus on your website, वो हमेशा स्टोर का ही ज्यादा रहेगा फ्लिपकार्ट, अमेज़न पे.
राइट.
इसके लिए. Yep.
Thank you.
Welcome. Anyone else? Anything?
I think there's been a lot of questioning, Prathamesh, and first I just want to take another 2-3 minutes to sort of say thank you and summarize those 2 things. Right? Before we started the session, if you all remember, I mean, why you all join Expert is one of those key things is performance marketing, driving acquisition, user acquisition, one of those key new challenges. And like always, Prathamesh is one of our sessions, which is very, very critical in helping you sort of solve that for you to understand the process of doing this, because this is where you're spending real money in terms of acquiring users. And I hope if by not now, you must have already made a list of questions or made a list of to-dos to ask to your agency, to ask to your marketing team. So two things, right? One is I want to really thank Prathamesh for taking out the patience. And this is the first time he's sort of broken his session of one session into two sessions to answer everyone's questions in more detail, to sort of cover that. And because Prathamesh talks about metrics, one of the key metrics he measures in his session is insights per minute. And if you notice, one of his sessions very clearly how much insights in terms of actionable items you can take. Each of his slides is an actionable item you can literally refer back to apply to your business. And one of those things, like I said, we will do the experimental process.
Just a second, Sharad. Just a second. Someone on the door.
And I want to summarize this growth is experimentational process. And then what Prathamesh has sort of learned over his decades of experience and at Licious and with sort of interacting with other marketers, these are things which you can directly apply to your own business to sort of, get that in place. So while Prathamesh comes in before, I want to sort of make sure everyone can turn on their video for the one last time, right? So we want to sort of say thank you to him and obviously unmute themselves. So Prathamesh, we're just sort of doing our last thank yous.
No, I just want to say, thank you, everyone. I think you've been very patient and massive respect for each one of you. I'm there. I've shared my email ID, my credits with you guys. Happy to chat. Happy to do it. In fact, mostly I do have a follow-up discussion with a couple of folks. So happy to do that in small groups of 3 or 5 people where we can go more specific, more detailed. I know I've just touched upon the surface right now. Do go in. मतलब मैं जो बता रहा हूँ काफी चीजें गूगलेबल है, काफी चीजें नहीं है जो गूगल पे नहीं है. तो invest a lot of time, experiment a lot, and I love your energy, everyone, and thank you for being a patient audience on Wednesday. And this is bye from me and my dog Pogo here. He has also been attending here. Yes.
So I'm great on that note. Thank you so much, Prathamesh. You put our music in front, hands in front. The way of music. Thank you. Countdown between 3, 2, 1 and go team. Yeah. Okay. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Go team. Go team, everyone. Thank you so much.